Oh, hi. So I titled this Study How Non-Black Women Move. This audio is for those and my audios have been for those that feel like they have a bit of the black culture still in their system, and they want to kind of detox from it because they see how um while it was fun and black people are said to have flavor and rhythm and all of this stuff, it has not benefited a lot of black people, I would say, economically, as and it has not benefited black people as a nation. um and so what I'm saying is, for example, and this is going to trigger some black women because um some black women, and some people period, but this message is for black women. We may get triggered and say, well, I don't want to be like no white women, I don't want to be like. Well, see, the thing is nobody is telling you to be like anybody, but to study how they move, because one thing I've learned about other non-white men that are not black but non-white men. One thing I noticed is that yes, they had their own culture, yes, they had their own way of doing things, but I look at a lot of these other countries, like in the Middle East and Asian countries and other places, how they built up their civilizations, and make no mistake about it, they studied this white man because their civilizations did not look like it did. A lot of what we see in these other foreign countries is look like it was from the idea of original white patriarchs. And we can argue that a lot of white patriarchs got their ideas from ancient Africans. I mean, we can argue that, but for the most part, when we look at the way the cities look today with the high rises, um, definitely a lot of those high rises come from the ideas of a lot of white patriarchy, and a lot of it was done to cover the sun. So I definitely know that came from that. Um, a certain group of people, and definitely you wouldn't, because when you look at go to a lot of African countries now, they don't like to cut down their trees. That lets you know that a lot of what we see in these cities, these high rises, and a lot of these businesses did not necessarily come from the ideas of ancient Africans, because a lot of you go to those places now, they don't like to cut down their trees. Okay, they're very much still into nature. So that's what I'm saying. Um, Certain areas in the Middle East used to be a desert, like say, for instance, I think um, what was it, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, areas like that used to be a desert, and then you look at how they built up their area now, and to me it just looks like they're competing with Europeans. To me, that's what it looks like. Okay, and but you won't hear them admit it, but they definitely have studied this white patriarch. Same thing with a lot of Asians, they have studied this white patriarch. Okay, because they used to be third world. Okay, they used to be very poor and being spat on. Okay, being treated like garbage. And look at where they are now. They studied. Okay, and they studied to the point where they and applied because they care about their nation, to the point where they are, become the next superpower. Okay, and so that's what I mean when I say um those black women who want to just detox themselves from a lot of the sickness, the mental illness of black culture. Now, I'm not saying to completely rid yourself, because it's some good things in black culture. It's some things to take, but for the most part, the mentality, that collective consciousness of black people, black women, black people all together is just very sick and twisted. It's a mentality that don't care about their girls. It's a mentality that don't care about their children being shot down in the street by gang members. It's a mentality that protects predators. It's a mentality that blames white people and non-black people for all of their problems. It's a mentality that does not want to report rape and domestic violence, and you got white people setting up domestic violence shelters up in black neighborhoods because of black black people don't care enough about themselves. So that kind of meant that collective consciousness is what a lot of it's like a lot of us, and I'm going to say a lot of us, that we need to really detox ourselves from. And the best way to detox yourself, yes, get away, spend some time alone, but be around non-black people, specifically non-black women more. Learn how they move, and I do, of course, be particular about the kind of non-black woman you study, but it's best to study how non-black women move, because the way I was just about to say, the way all of them move is in a way that's more beneficial to them than the way black women move. Black women, s- because they are so many of them are so they're possessed by the spirit of this male that's in the community. um they move in a way that causes their own demise, and that is not something that is beneficial for those of us who want change in ourselves. Okay, so that's why I say study how the non-black women move, especially this white woman and this Korean woman, this Asian woman, this Japanese movie. Study how they move. Okay. um and really just if you really want to get out of the mindsets of a lot of black people to be more successful and to be a powerhouse in yourself, really understand how non-black people move, and specifically non-black women, because you still want to be a feminine woman. You don't want to be a man, even though it's okay to study non-black men. But I'm talking about if you want to be a powerhouse. I mean, I'm not really talking about dating and getting married in this one. I'm talking about just really having a mentality of a person who's a powerhouse, who's a force to be reckoned with. Study how they move. Okay. Um and that's just about all I have to say in this one. Yeah. And look, even when it comes to men, look at how they move. Look at how they move even when it comes to men. If you want to really try to, because to me it almost help you learn how to set your standards higher when you're around a group of people who have high standards. I mean, now it's good to work on yourself and self-love and all of that stuff, because I do it a lot, but it's also good to be around a group of people who have been brought up in such a way that they know how to set standards. It's good to disconnect from the collective conscience, because a lot of that setting low standards when it comes to men, yeah, it's low self-esteem. It could be because of some trauma, but it's also because of a collective consciousness. When you're part of a culture, a lot of black women are a part of a culture that is very sick. And so not only, yes, is it best to work on your inner self, but it's best to position yourself with people who already know, or who always have set their standards high. It's better to be around those kind of people more, because then your consciousness, you kind of take in their frequency. You know, over here when I came to Los Angeles, specifically in Hollywood, and getting into acting, even though I'm a therapist, I've done some acting. What I would hear a lot of the actors in these acting classes say is that if you really want to get into this type of energy, go where a lot of the stars may be. Go to Beverly Hills more. Go to the Starbucks where they hang out at more. See, that's what I mean. Or if you want to be a millionaire, if you want to be successful, go around where successful people are. Be around that more. The reason why is because you're taking in that frequency more. And when you're taking that frequency more, you become that type of person. And so that's what I mean. That when you want to kind of detox yourself from the very sick and depraved consciousness that is the black culture. Even though it might have one or two good things about it, If you want to detox yourself from this black culture, from the depraved type of mindset, not only is it good to work on your inner self, but it's also good to position yourself around people who already have the mindset that you might want to develop. Okay. And specifically for black women, kind of positioning yourself around a lot of other non-black women, that black women too now, black women too, but a lot of black non-black women that possess the type of mindset that you want to get to. Okay. Because you be around that type of energy enough, you be around those type of mindsets enough, you can't help but to take in that frequency, and then end up becoming that person that you want to be. Okay. And so, with that being said, you guys, as usual, let me know what you think, and I will talk to you soon.